My lady walks out in the pale moonlight, an image from some ancient poetry. And just like a man newly wakened from a dream, I can't believe that it's real. And I'm so tired being lonely every night that I'm always hearing voices telling me that love can't be found. And somehow I know these words, but they just don't come out right. Van Morrison, well, I don't pretend to be, but just like an old song on the radio, I feel this newness coming over me. And I'm so tired being lonely every night that I'm always hearing voices telling me that love can't be found. So tired being lonely every night that I'm always hearing voices telling me that love can't be found. Well, softly through the city a bell begins to toll, chanting proudly in its private toil. And just like a man whose senses have been shown a moment in his soul's eternity. And I'm so tired being lonely every night that I'm always hearing voices telling me that love can't be found, telling me
In February of this year, my wife and I celebrated the birth of our first son. Having watched him grow for the past 7 months, I came across an idea for a song which I later entitled Rain Dance. And it's about helping the crops grow, helping the influences come into his life, helping him grow strong.
Summer wind calls out for traveling. The nomad's blood begins to boil. And children's laughter on city sidewalks seems to know. Seems to know. A past response, an answered question. retains the light, creates the mold to turn and find a new way home. And every word cries out for meaning, and every gesture for its source, reaching out a newborn baby, tries to touch his mother's warmth. Continued love requires learning, well, how to stand and not to fall. Well, turn your eyes towards the western sky and a new hope. Now the memories of our beginnings seems to quickly fade away. Remember this journey's to the heartland of our faith, of our faith.
I'm Bill Walker, and I'm talking with Leo Filippini, who is a member of the Plant Protection Group here at the Coppercliff North Mine. When you're not working here, you're a pretty busy man. Let's talk about hockey, first of all. Will you tell me about the Old Timers group you play with, Leo?
I belong to the Valley East Old Timers League. The rules there, you have to be 25 and over. And we have a game twice a week. At the present, there's four teams in the league.
Leno, you're also a volunteer fireman.
At the present, I've only been on now 2 months, 2 hours a week. That's a practice. And in the summertime, I imagine it'll be a little more.
Now tell me about this karate that you take.
First of all, I went into it for the exercise, and now I've gone into it a little bit more physically to improve the character, various reasons. All right.
The International Nickel Company of Canada. We're people.
In August, I was coming home from a graveyard shift, and on the way home, I picked up a newspaper. On the front headline was a description of how President Amin of Uganda had slaughtered hundreds of students in a university there because they protested against his son's violent behavior at the university. And on the way home, the thought just occurred to me how easily this could happen to my family and my own son, just the madness that's occurring around the world in places like Chile and Brazil and things. And I went home, and I was still really shaken up by the fact that one man's insanity can control so many people's destinies. And I sat down and wrote a song from a personal point of view about how it felt to be traveling through a life where there's no guidelines, where there's no justice, it seemed. And in Canada, we're still relatively safe, it seems, but slowly things seem to be creeping in on us. And the social idea of freedom slowly seems to be seeping to those who have freedom, who have the power, and to those of us who are free only at consent of the power of people. And this is a song about a personal man's idea of finding freedom in his own life and the fears of not knowing how long life will last. This is called Open Road.
Traveling down an open road, alone, alone. No guiding post to show me where to go. No, I'm questioning a secret, yeah, that appears to be unknown. Surrounded by convoluted phrases, Lord, and more, yeah. Torn between scattered bits of praises, Lord, and scorn, scorn, yeah. I'm waiting for a signal, yeah. Will love become a stone? yours to show me where to go. Lord, no, I'm questioning a secret that appears to be unknown.
I've been playing music for what seems like an eternity, with a lot of rock and roll and raunchy boogie bands. And I've had my fill. And in part of my life, I came across some people who helped me realize that there was calmer things and easier things to take than loudness and raunch and roll. And this song comes out of those feelings about having somebody that you can trust and be quiet with. This is a song called Peaceful Company, and it's about cooling out.
Ooh, baby, what you mean to me? When the night's gone long past talking, you're still peaceful company. And ooh, it's so easy singing to myself as all my directions in you. Come and sit beside me in the morning light. Well, every day it be as new. Well, every sun is bright. 'Cause you to me, you hold the key to love beyond my sight. 'Cause all my directions in you. When darkness paints a weary frown, and every day is blue, oh yeah, locked inside my sorrow, well, I sometimes forget about you. Come and sit beside me in the morning light. Well, every day it be as new. Well, every sun is bright. 'Cause you to me, you hold the key to love beyond my sight. Well, all my directions in you.
I'm Bill Walker, and I'm talking with Frank Paré, who is a process supervisor at the Frood Stobie Mill. Frank, you went back to college after the age of 40?
Yes, sir. I got interested in the social sciences because my children were involved in that line of study. Started as a hobby and found myself finishing.
How many years did you go?
7 years.
At night?
All at night, all extension courses.
Did you graduate?
Yes, in the fall convocation of 1974, I received a BA in economics.
Looking back on the experience, was it worth it, Frank?
Very much. It very enlightened me a bit and allowed me to be able to read and understand a little more what's going on in the world.
Frank, you're an inspiration. I think you've got some of us thinking we might try the same thing. Thanks very much.
The International Nickel Company of Canada. We're people.
Northern Ontario provides a golden opportunity for a songwriter because there's an incredible amount of performing and backing talent in the Sudbury area. And I'd like to thank some people who helped me out with this show, Jocko and Paul and Jeep and Kim and Barry from King Street, who gave me a big helping hand in the backing tracks of this. And I'd like to close off with a song from an old friend of mine from North Bay who's been writing songs for years. And this one is called A Song from My Kitchen, and it's about a man hoping that the things he dreams for will come true. And it's a song by Brian Buckley. Well, I won't believe it's real unless it's a full-time thing. Song you can sing. And I won't condemn a man for lying in bed dreaming of how to fly and be king. Well, if he went away on a sailing ship, just to say he did and pretend, all the while away in a fantasy. Hallelujah, hallelujah. It's real unless it's a full-time thing. Song you can sing. And I won't condemn a man for lying in bed dreaming, well, how to fly and be king. Well, if he went away on a sailing ship, just to say he did and pretend, all the while away in a fantasy.